Sophia Loren, still the most photographed woman in the world. Eva Marie Saint, Hitchcock cast her opposite Cary Grant in North by Northwest. She was 35, she is now 101. Tippi Hedren, the face Hitchcock built an entire obsession around, still striking, still here. Shirley MacLaine, The Apartment, Terms of Endearment, said she credits her beauty to dancing since age 3.
Which of these 4 is your pick? Drop it below. Jane Fonda, Barbarella, Clute, 3 Oscar nominations, the most photographed woman of the protest movement.
Julie Andrews, Mary Poppins, The Sound of Music, lost her singing voice to surgery, the face never changed. Raquel Welch, she passed in 2023, but her 1966 poster remains the most replicated image of its era. Raquel Welch redefined what a film poster could do. 1 image, 1 year, the entire world stopped. Goldie Hawn, Private Benjamin, Overboard, a physicality and warmth the camera never stopped loving. Diane Keaton, Annie Hall, The Godfather, Manhattan, a beauty so specific it became a whole aesthetic. Barbra Streisand, Funny Girl, A Star is Born, unconventional by Hollywood standards, irresistible by every other. Helen Mirren, Prime Suspect, The Queen, at 80, still the most elegant woman in any red carpet photograph. Helen Mirren posed for Sports Illustrated swimsuit at 78 years old. The magazine said it was their most requested shoot in a decade. Sigourney Weaver, Alien, Avatar, Gorillas in the Mist, a strength that became its own kind of beauty. Jessica Lange, King Kong, Tootsie, Frances, 2 Oscars, the face that made Dustin Hoffman say he'd been wrong about everything. Meryl Streep, 3 Oscars, the most expressive face in the history of cinema.
Meryl Streep, Helen Mirren, or Sophia Loren? Who is the most beautiful actress of all time? One name. We want the debate. Susan Sarandon, Thelma and Louise, Bull Durham, a beauty with fire behind it.
Catherine Deneuve, Belle de Jour, the most beautiful French woman alive for 5 consecutive decades. Buñuel's muse, Truffaut's muse. Angelica Houston, Prizzi's Honor, The Addams Family, a face that belonged to another century and every century simultaneously.
Jacqueline Smith, Charlie's Angels, a classical elegance that felt timeless in 1976 and feels timeless now.
Farrah Fawcett, passed in 2009. But that smile, that hair, the best-selling image in history, 12 million copies of 1 poster, 1 year. Farrah Fawcett's smile may be the single most recognized image of the 1970s. Kim Basinger, 9.5 weeks, LA Confidential, a beauty that contained something almost painful to look at. Michelle Pfeiffer, Scarface, Batman Returns. Directors still adjust entire scenes because the camera drifts toward her. Sharon Stone, Basic Instinct, Casino, Hollywood said not yet for a decade. Then, Basic Instinct happened overnight. Gina Davis, Thelma and Louise, The Accidental Tourist, 6 feet tall, Oscar-winning, and genuinely impossible to photograph badly. Demi Moore, Ghost, G.I. Jane, Indecent Proposal, the most photographed woman of the early 90s.
Sharon Stone or Michelle Pfeiffer? Who had the more magnetic screen presence? Classic debate. Tell us.
Isabelle Adjani, Possession, Camille Claudel, voted most beautiful woman in the world by a French film jury 3 times. Isabella Rossellini, Blue Velvet, Lancôme, the daughter of Ingrid Bergman and Roberto Rossellini. Some faces carry entire lineages. Winona Ryder, Beetlejuice, Heathers, The Age of Innocence. Tim Burton built an aesthetic partly around what she looked like. Halle Berry, Monsters Ball, the first black woman to win the Best Actress Oscar, a face so structured it stops photographers mid-sentence. Salma Hayek, Desperado, Frida. Robert Rodriguez put her on screen in 1995, and the film stopped every time she appeared. Penelope Cruz, Vicky Cristina Barcelona, All About My Mother, Pedro Almodóvar's defining face, the most awarded Spanish actress in history.
Nicole Kidman, Eyes Wide Shut, Moulin Rouge. Kubrick filmed her for 2 years, called it the privilege of his career.
Kate Blanchett, Elizabeth, The Aviator, Tar, intelligence and mystery in the same breath. Julia Roberts, Pretty Woman, Erin Brockovich, that smile, that laugh, still exactly that laugh. Julia Roberts' laugh in the jewelry box scene of Pretty Woman became the most replayed 3 seconds of the entire decade. Not a special effect, just her. Charlize Theron, Monster, Mad Max, The Old Guard, bone structure that photographers call technically unfair.
Monica Bellucci, Milena, The Matrix Reloaded, the most painted woman in Italian cinema. At 60, still making directors forget their shot lists. Monica Bellucci appeared in The Matrix Reloaded at 39. The Wachowskis reportedly had to rewrite scenes because the camera kept finding her first. Angelina Jolie, Gia, Girl Interrupted, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, a physicality and danger the camera couldn't look away from. Jennifer Lopez, Selena, Out of Sight, Hustlers, the most watched woman on the internet for 3 consecutive years. Sandra Bullock, Speed, Miss Congeniality, Gravity, the most likable face in 90s cinema, still is. Meg Ryan, When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle, that laugh, that warmth, a quality that felt like sunlight. Angelina Jolie or Jennifer Lopez, who defined the 2000s more? Tell us in the comments. No wrong answers. Diane Lane, A Little Romance at 14, Unfaithful. The camera has never not known what to do with her. Uma Thurman, Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, Mia Wallace, that Bob, that stillness, something you couldn't name but couldn't stop watching. Julianne Moore, Boogie Nights, Magnolia, Far From Heaven, a red-headed luminosity that Spielberg, Altman, and Haynes all built around. Kate Winslet, Titanic, Eternal Sunshine, The Reader, the most honest face in cinema. Scarlett Johansson, Lost in Translation, Marriage Story, Black Widow, a face that contains multitudes. Natalie Portman, Black Swan, Jackie, Closer, Harvard degree, a beauty with the intelligence to match every frame. Margot Robbie, Wolf of Wall Street, I, Tonya, Barbie, a face so classically constructed photographers compare it to old Hollywood. Margot Robbie was told by a Warner Brothers executive early in her career that she was too pretty for serious roles. She produced and starred in I, Tonya anyway. Zendaya, Euphoria, Dune, Challengers. One last question. Who is the most beautiful actress of all time? Your personal number 1. Drop it below. We read every single one.